Peace and blessings, everyone. Hello. My name is Nikki, and welcome to the Rose Garden Sanctuary. All right, if you are seeing this, that means that you are either seeing it on my YouTube channel, The Rose Garden Vibes, or you are seeing it on my Patreon site, The Rose Garden Sanctuary. Either way, however you are seeing this, definitely be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you find this information beneficial, or if you feel like somebody else needs to see this, even if you have gone through the slew of my other videos and you found any of that information beneficial, definitely make sure that you donate to my Patreon site. We are back, we're alive, and we'll be talking about a lot of things here on both of those platforms. Some things will be exclusively to Patreon site, and the only way to get the access to that is to go down into the description box and subscribe to my Patreon site for other information that you may not see on here. Either way it go, I will also be sure to let you know when I have uploaded something that is exclusive for Patreon. That way you're able to check it out. Okay, now today we are going to be talking about something that I get asked a lot, and that is what is the difference between a twin flame and a soulmate, and things like karmic relationships, trauma bonding, and things like that. So you have made it to the right space, because we're going to talk about it in depth. Okay, so when it comes down to the question, what is a soulmate? A soulmate is somebody that comes from your same soul family, soul tribe. You guys have gone through eons and centuries, timelines, all the things together. These are the people that no matter where you go, they will always be connected to you. No matter how many times you have incarnated, you will find these people in your lifetime. This also speaks to a soul contract. There are some people that are non-negotiables in your soul contract, and there are some people that are only meant to fulfill that contract, and then they go on about their merry ways, right? And yeah, when it comes to your soulmate, these are your people. These are the people that when you meet them, it's easy to connect with them, right? These are the people that you are cut from the same cloth. Y'all were designed and destined to meet and help each other ascend along the way. You are there to teach them lessons. They are there to teach you lessons. They are there to make you better and keep you on your square, and you are there to do the same thing. It is important to know that yes, your soulmate can be your life partner. Your soulmate can be your best friend. Your soulmate can be your cousin, your sister, your mother, your father. These are people that get you. You click. It's easy, right? It's easy to communicate about even the hard things, right? You always find your way coming back to each other. These are your soulmates. You were meant to meet. The question that always comes up is, can your soulmate be your twin flame? Absolutely. The key thing to remember about a soulmate is that a soulmate is just not limited to a intimate relationship. We oftentimes hear, oh, this person is my soulmate. I'm just waiting to find my soulmate. And it's important to know that your soulmate is so much bigger than intimacy. That is your best friend, that is your family, that is your confidant, that is your free therapist. Like, that person is there. Like, you can talk to them seemingly all day, every day, about everything. That is a soulmate. Okay, that is a soulmate. Now, when it comes to a twin flame, Nikki, well, what is a twin flame? Your twin flame is your soulmate, and it's deeper than a soulmate. And that's the kicker. Your twin flame is so much more deeper than a soulmate. Okay, so when it comes down to a twin flame, it is your other half. However, ideally with that statement, it ideally, if you and that person have evolved, that is your other whole. Even if it's still the aspect of y'all are both still active in your healing work, that is still your other whole. Not to be confused with your better half, all that stuff. No, that is your better whole, right? And I only say that because sometimes it gets tricky when you call somebody your better half, because ideally it comes from a space of needing them to be better, needing them to evolve. You need that person to function, and that's not the case, and that's something that you learn in a twin flame relationship. Oftentimes when we hear twin flame, I just wish I would find my twin flame, right? And we talk about it in this euphoric sense. And a twin flame relationship is hard work. It is commitment. It is dedication. It is the poster relationship and couple for unconditional love. And that is because you are choosing each and every day, each and every minute to continue that relationship, which is hard. Now, when I said that your twin flame is your other whole, your better whole, that comes from a space of when you have a soul person, that person is your equal soul. There are some people in articles and you know, things that you'll read, and they say that just think of your soul being cut in half, or you know, being duplicated, or you know, like the Adam and Eve story, right? Or like the horror story, right? Like you are that other person, right? Like you come from the literal same piece of fabric. Y'all are one. Y'all are meant to come together and connect, right? And you know, find that right grooving and edge and connect back together like a puzzle. And that can be hard, and that can be frustrating, because what that means is that your twin flame is your mirror. They will mirror you in every essence, in every sense. That means that they will reflect your qualities and your attributes and your strengths, and they will reflect your flaws, right? Your shortcomings, those things that you've been hiding from people, that shadow self that comes up in a twin flame relationship. And that's why it's an active choice to commit and have unconditional love for that person. And it's not to be confused with just loving them to death. No, that is being able and willing to do the work together, to, you know, when you notice that reflection piece, right, going inside yourself first, to acknowledge that within you and say, and then bringing that to the table. It is calling people out with love. It is keeping that person accountable. And that's why when it comes to a twin flame relationship, you have the runner and you have the one that is like the, you know, chaser, and that's because ideally, maybe, perhaps, right, the one that is doing the chasing is ready to do all the things and is ready to commit, and then the other person is not ready. They're genuinely not ready, and they know that they're not ready, and sometimes they don't even know that they're running. They just know that there's a disconnect. And that's why most twin flame relationships do not even become a relationship, and some end, because one person is doing the work and the other is not committed yet. Because having a reflection is hard. You are forced to see the things that you ignore. You are forced to see the things that you are oblivious to. You are forced to see all these things, and that doesn't mean that it's conflict in the relationship. It just means that there can be tension. It can feel like one person is outgrowing the other, things like that. And it's very important to know the difference between a twin flame relationship and a karmic relationship, or even trauma bonding, because in a karmic relationship, that person is there to teach you a lesson. There may be a karmic debt that one person or the other has to pay, and that can look like a karmic debt from a different relationship present day. It can be a karmic debt that has to be paid from a different soul contract in another lifetime, and that may reflect a twin flame relationship in a way of one person may really think that, okay, this is it, because they're ready to do the work, right? They have realized their faults and their flaws. They have realized the role that they have played in the demise of continual relationships, right? And then what happens is when they meet that karmic debt, they give their all, and the other person is gonna do the relationship things, and you know, it's short-lived, right? It's short-lived, and we have to be careful of that, because that can leave us scarred and flawed, to where then it's just this karmic cycle of debts upon debts being paid and repaid and things like that. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. And then when it comes to trauma bonding, that can look like both people love bombing. Trauma bonding is when it's what it sounds like. It's when you're bonding over being hurt. You are bonding over wanting, to, just stay under each other, because the world is so cruel and I've been hurt, and, it can look like a very codependent type situation. To where one person gets jealous and envious when the other person is trying to evolve, or they keep them and hold them to themselves because, oh, I'm protecting you, I'm trying to save you. Trauma bonding is, it is bonding over your scars. And while it can be helpful because you're helping each other patch up those wounds and heal, and then once the healing is done, the question is, then what? Now what do we do? Now what do we do? Do we evolve together and ascend and grow? Or do we go our separate ways because it was a seasonal thing? Twin flame relationships and twin flame relationships are like our roots. They're very long lasting. They can stand the test of time. With tender love and care, with fertile soil, the tree can grow into a ginormous Amazon forest type tree. Soulmate, right? Soulmates are like the trunk of our tree. They can go with us to forever. It'll take hard things to chop that away. Because soulmates are forever. And what I mean by that is that you don't need to be around a soulmate every single day. It's a nurtured friendship. It is a genuine understanding. It feels good. It feels good. It's comfortable. It's familiar, right? And even with soulmates, that's a relationship like any other. Even like with your twin flame, both of those things have to be nurtured and tended to with a lot of love and care. And then karmic relationships, that is definitely the branches. They can break at any given second. They can break at any given second, and that's because a karmic relationship can last for as long as it needs to. There is no timeline. It can be years until you learn your lesson. It can be years until that debt is paid. And then with trauma bonding, it's very fleeting. It's like the leaves, it's very fleeting. Because eventually one person is going to say, I've had enough of this and I need to get help, I need to do better, I need to grow. Yeah, so I hope this answers the question of what is a twin flame, what is a soulmate, what is a karmic bond, and what is a karmic relationship. I do have two blogs on this that I will be sure to tag on Patreon if you want to read. It'll be open and available. You don't have to subscribe or anything to see this. So I will tag the I will tag both of the articles on my Patreon site for you to fully read and enjoy. They're two great reads. I wrote those blogs when I was in a space of just meeting my twin flame, who is now my husband. And yeah, it's a beautiful journey. And it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, because the mirrors will keep showing up. All right, so peace and blessings, everyone.